I make no bones about it. I know I'm a conspiracy theorist. Oh, bad. I question people's official lies. Oh, no. When they said, we're not going to send police on 911 calls anymore, we're going to start to send sociologists and economists and caseworkers and anyone but emergency responders. People, some conspiracy theorists like me, said, I don't know that that's a good idea. I think that maybe that would only work on like a case by case basis where someone says, hey, it's an emergency. My dad is having a mental health breakdown. No one's being threatened. There's no violence. It's 2:00 in the afternoon. He's crying at the kitchen table and I don't know what to do. Can someone come over and help? Because it's just us here. It's my 9-year-old brother and I. If that's the case, great. Send a social worker over. The problem is, that's not what will end up happening. That's the story they're telling you. That's the pretty little picture they're painting, right? Here's the house. Here's the person that needs your help. And we're going to send a caseworker over so that the bad cops don't show up and Breonna Taylor someone. That's how this is being posed to you. But just know that the case I'm making is they're going to extrapolate that into you call 911 about someone else, and now that person will be able to label, create a case on, start a file on that other person. And it won't be a police file, it will be a medical, mental health professional file. You see where we're going yet? No? How about this? This is a flashback to 2019 from pewtrusts.org, saying the success of the red flag laws for gun ownership, the thing that's going to stop you from being able to own or purchase a firearm legally, so you'll have to do it illegally, they might depend on mental health teams. So we heard about this. We said they're going to send out teams of medically licensed professionals to determine your mental health. And then they're going to determine whether or not you can have a gun based on that mental health. All subjective, all from one person to another. That doctor, because he's licensed, regardless of any mental illnesses he may have, can point to another person who may be totally sane. But because of that license and his own mental illness, he may say that guy is wrong. He's a loony. He cares about the Constitution more than people's lives. He can't have a gun. Do you see where we're going to go here now? Now it makes a little bit more sense, right? So today now, in 2021, we are seeing a major city in the United States not responding to law enforcement calls and 911 calls with police, but with social workers, and they will tell you, with the evidence they're going to show us both, why this is a good thing. We should encourage all cities to do this. Another U.S. city is reporting early success with the program that replaces traditional law enforcement responders with healthcare workers for some emergency calls. Okay, not all. That's a good thing. Previously, Denver 911 operators only directed calls to police or fire department. That makes sense. You call 911 for a fire or for a life-threatening emergency. The Support Team Assistance Response, the STAR pilot program, created a third track for directing emergency calls for a 2-person team, a medic and a clinician, staffed in a van from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. on weekdays. We're the Star Boys. Can you imagine you're in the van, you're eating a jelly, and you're sitting there just like waiting on the guy who's just losing his mind. Not a violent criminal or a robber or a gangster. You're waiting on someone who's sitting at home, drunk, contemplating whether he should call 911 because he's thinking about suicide. And you're going to send the guys in the van to go and talk to him. How depressing would his life be if showing up are 2 dudes in masks saying, "Hey, we heard you weren't feeling that great, man. So we pulled the van up outside. We're here to make you feel good in Denver." Yay. Now, maybe this is a great program. Maybe the medic and the clinician are there to help and they really are trained and they really will do a good thing, and that my jokes are landing poorly and falsely and it's all bad. Maybe this is all good. Or maybe my skepticism, the innate distrust in the police saying, we're going to send medical professionals that have the authority to label you, to give you a legal label medically, a medical label legally, and they're interchangeable, and there's nothing you can do about it after that happens. There's no court, there's no medical court you go to say, I'm not mentally ill. Someone called saying I was. The police show up and label me mentally ill because, of course, I'm irate that you're showing up to label me something at all when I didn't call the police. You'll see how this will go soon. People will call on their neighbors, like in the previous story. Yeah, hi, 911. My neighbors, the Trumpites, they shoveled my driveway for me. Yeah, they plowed my driveway for me, and I think this is a microaggression against my ability to plow my own driveway. And frankly, no one would do that. No one in their right mind would do that. I'm from the city. No one does anything nice for anyone else in the city. This is crazy. And then you get the doctor on the other end going, yeah, no, I think this is crazy. Red flag them. And then they come over to your house. They issue you your little ticket. They say, here's your ticket. You got a red flag now because your neighbor thinks you're crazy, and we're going to agree with them because politically we can see the situation here now. Now we know what's happening. This is all going to become weaponized like the IRS 12 years ago. This is going to become weaponized like the FBI 8 and 10 years ago. It's going to become weaponized like our election systems have been now for, 4 years? 3 years? 2 years? You tell me where this is wrong. But what I think is happening is you're going to see the liberal push for sociologists and caseworkers and anyone but legal authority. It's all going to be under the guise of medical authority, scientific authority, and social authority. We're going to help you. We're not those cops. We don't have weapons. What's the weapon they carry if it's not a gun on their hip? It's the pen in their little pocket protector that can write you a prescription for never being able to legally own a gun. That is the point here. Subscribe to this channel on all of the platforms, Odyssey, BitChute, Rumble, Gab, YouTube even. And then help me by sharing this video, liking it, commenting below, spreading it everywhere we can to keep America armed, sane, and afloat.